Hey everybody, this is going to be your weekly love reading. This is going to be for YouTube. I feel like it could be long because I just have a lot of decks out. I got excited. And my energy is a little bit like low or anxious, so I don't know how this is going to go. I wanted to ritualistically start this reading by burning a little bit of sage, which I'm not good about. And I can't even really get a great flame going on this, but I like to just burn a little. I feel like a little is better than nothing. So I hope everyone out there has positive energy going. I know it's kind of challenging still, mostly just because of the stagnancy, because so much of the time, I mean, it's all about balance, but movement, you know, it helps us. It helps move our energy. And like, yes, we can move in the house and stuff, but it's not quite the same in a way. So, you know, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. It's a little stagnant right now. And like here it's snowing too. So it's like extra stagnant. It's like the winter's last like imprint. It's like it wants to leave on us. Like, did you have a good winter? You know? It feels slightly punishing. I mean, the energy still feels a little bit punishing, but it is for a purpose. It is not without purpose. So let's see what's coming out. I'll start with the joint energy of the connection and then masculine and feminine and future, I guess. So we'll see. I just have so many decks. I feel like I could get lost in my train of thought. So let's see. The first card here, I wanted to start with an oracle, is teacher. I've pulled this card before. So this is going on in the joint energy of the connection right now. And while yes, it is teacher, it makes me feel like both parties are learning a lot. You know, they're finding teachers, seeking teachers. And of course, a beautiful thing is the way in which you can teach each other. So it's like maybe perhaps one is learning from the other. In some way, even if you're not in communication, I guess, even energetically, there's a desire here to learn. And I think Spirit is just highlighting the fact that perhaps it's coming into both parties' awarenesses that they can learn from each other. You are each other's best teacher, potentially. One of your greatest teachers in this life is this other person. The Three of Wands, yeah, it's like it is a little bit of an energy of waiting. It's kind of stagnant, you know, but I feel like this yearning is there, you know, there's a yearning on both sides. And it's almost like, yes, it is stagnant. It may feel stagnant right now, but it's almost like this knowing that, of course, this is not going to be forever. So it's an energy of like knowing that something is going to shift, knowing that there's going to be like a change coming in. And this is in the joint energy of the connection. So also feel like people are waiting for other things to shift, other things to change. There may be barriers or playing interference, you know, but there's a little bit of an energy of preparation and waiting. And I guess while you're waiting, you can learn, you know. Maybe think about that too, like just reflect on the past and what this person has already taught you, what this connection has taught you already about yourself, or just the journey you've been on since perhaps this began for you, like what you've learned from it more. What else? Treat yourself. I think people are being really hard on themselves. I just feel that people are being kind of hard on themselves because I just think it's lending to that. It's breeding that. The climate right now is breeding this energy of like, just feeling kind of like down in a certain type of way. Not like, I mean, I've been purging some sadness myself, but I was like PMSing too. And we had the full moon, of course. But I think that, I guess it's sort of that, like maybe it's just the result or potential energetic effect of stagnancy sometimes is just feeling like kind of like just kind of ho-hum or down, or like nothing's fun, nothing's exciting, like there's nothing to look forward to, which is kind of like the, you know. So if you're feeling that way, I am a little bit. I feel like it's sort of getting to me. Like I'm trying to not let that get to me, but it kind of does. And for me, like the weather doesn't help on a day like today, but it's going to be spring. Like there's a lot to look forward to. I really do feel that. I do feel there's a lot to look forward to. for everybody, you know, because what I think is like this experience is forcing us to appreciate the little things. And it's like, you know what this thing, it reminds me of, which is funny because I'm going to compare it to an illness. But it's like when you get like a really bad stomach bug, not that this experience has been so terrible. And by this experience, I mean the quarantine, the lockdowns, not being able to move about freely in your life and world in the way that you're used to, feeling guilty if you do, feeling guilty if you don't do this or that, you know, like you're a bad person, like not knowing, you know, just like this weird kind of deal, this thing that we're in collectively. It reminds me of, I've compared it in my head to, I think when it's over, that we will all have learned a lot from it. It's meant to be. You can't fight it. It's meant to be. But that when it's over, it's going to feel like you do when you have a 24-hour stomach bug, you know, when you like cannot stop puking. And when you're in the middle of that, all you want is to take a drink of water. Like all you want is water and like a bite of food and to just not be throwing up for like 30 minutes. That's like all you want in the world. So sometimes for me, having those stomach bugs makes me so grateful for just being able to live and breathe and drink water and not throw it up. So I think that this, if this makes sense to anyone, will feel like that when it's over, because we'll be so happy to just go to the park and to like go out to eat at a restaurant and to like do little things that we've taken for granted. And so I think that when when you're able to treat yourself, but I think I want to say to treat yourself now, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I think that when this lifts and things get back to normal, I'm also not suggesting that in June everything's just going to be back to normal. Obviously, all of this that is happening is going to take a long time to be over or like finished, or if ever, you know, it's gonna leave a mark. But there's gonna be some point, I feel like, in the near future where there will be a return to normalcy or an attempt to. And I think when we are able to, at least in a small way, it's just going to be very exciting and it's going to feel really good. And we're just going to be so grateful to be doing things that we always could do but took for granted, you know? So I think that this ho-hum kind of vibe, it's really teaching us something about like actually how wonderful our lives are in some respects, how beautiful it is to just have the freedom to do things, to go shopping, to be around friends, to be around people, you know, to not be afraid to like pass people on your walk, you know, like just the little things I think are gonna really uplift the mood. So I think when this is over, that things are going to feel very exciting and joyous for people, and it's just going to be a return to what's normal. And it's like what's normal is going to bring us joy in a way that it hasn't for a really long time. And that's kind of a beautiful thing. And so I think when that time comes, a lot of people are going to want to treat themselves. But I think treat yourself now. You know, I was saying it's kind of a ho-hum. It's a Monday. Like, do something today. Who knows when this will be uploaded? It might not be till Tuesday, but it's still going to be a weekday. So it's not going to take me till Friday or Saturday. So this is a weekly reading. This week, today, treat yourself to something, whatever that is for you. Do something wild, you know what I mean? While you're in this phase of preparation and learning, like treat yourself, be kind to yourself. First of all, be gentle with yourself, be loving to yourself. Do you see like I have 20 decks and I'm just going on and on when I have any pull cards? But also, don't just be gentle to yourself, be loving to yourself. It's like self-care, but like treat yourself. Do something like have a guilty indulgence or pleasure, or like have a glass of wine, or like eat a piece of cake. I don't know. Do something. Get something like some yummy takeout. Just treat yourself in a way that it's like something that makes you feel a little bit excited, you know, if that makes sense. Of course, for me, that's food and alcohol. No, but you know what I mean. Treat yourself to something, okay? And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. I like that because the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like, at least in terms of what I'm speaking of, she kind of does that. You know, she's lush. She's like, you know, she can be very luxurious and abundant. Like, I think the Queen of Pentacles definitely treats herself. And there's like some really like beautiful imagery there, you know? So as you're being forced in this 3D part of your life right now, like treat yourself. So that's in the joint energy, the connection. And so for masculines too, what about like the more specific? I mean, some masculines out there may be wanting to treat themselves to to someone in the physical world, if you know what I mean. So treat yourself if that's what you are, if you're able to. Treat yourself, you know, but there may be a longing for some of this goddess in the 3D, if you will. But I think everyone is, it's like, make the most. I think there's this, and so maybe it doesn't feel that way. It wants to call your attention to it. There's a beauty and a sensuality stirring. It is spring. We're going to be in Taurus season. We're in these fires of Aries, you know, and it's creating, like, there's a beauty about. So like, try to feel that. Even if you're feeling kind of ho-hum, if your gaze is low, it's like, lift your gaze a little bit. And that's why sometimes if we treat ourselves, just like that serotonin or whatever, like the release of pleasure, like the release of physical, there's a desire for physical pleasure and a release of like the pheromones, hormones, whatever that come from that. It's like spirit is encouraging both parties to do that for themselves in whatever way they're able to. Like, indulge in your physical world right now in ways that you are able to. So, okay, that's a joint energy, and there's learning going on. So, let's see what's going on with the Divine Masculine. What was my intention here with these decks? So I think I was going to do the Divine Masculine headspace and heart, and then Divine Feminine head and heart, and then the future, but that might be too long. I don't know. I'm just always worried I'm going to get interrupted by my child too. But anyway, let's just go. I also have my Pax pen here, and you know, I don't often smoke on my readings or videos. I feel more likely to do it every once in a while, probably on a YouTube, because they're so long, especially since I have my Pax again, because I didn't have it for a long time. But if you guys I don't watch her as much as I should. I sometimes forget, but the lovely Queen Cup on YouTube, she's the shit, and she smokes weed while she does her readings, like hardcore, you know what I mean? Like, she's the shit too. So like, do not fuck with her. So she inspires me, and she makes me feel comfortable to do that. And I'm not gonna like smoke a joint here. Not that I wouldn't, but I don't really smoke joints that much, and not inside. But the pen, I have the pen. So anyway, let's do masculine headspace, feminine headspace. Maybe I'll just pull them now. Oops, 2. Patience, temperance. It's been coming up a lot. And also, you know, lately I'm a Sagittarius, and it's related to the sign of Sagittarius, temperance is, and it's about you know, it's just about this beautiful alchemy. I just have been seeing it a lot in terms of like sacred unions or soul connections, about really bringing these two cups together, and how it's a very delicate, slow, patient thing. And then the Knight of Pentacles, Prince of Gems, which is the builder, same. It's slow and steady. It's building something, you know. Okay, I don't even have these open. I'm like wasting time here. I'm just gonna sit back and smoke my pen, hit my pen. That's me treating myself. I'm showing you guys. Okay, hurry up here though. So you know what I should do? I should flip this, but I'll flip the first one in a second. That's Divine Masculine head, clarifier, and Divine Feminine head. And here I am starting with tarot again. There's some deceit. Like, I just feel like not knowing what's going on with each other, perhaps a distance. So I don't see it as like total deceit. I don't see it as like, I don't get dark lie vibes, but just like a deception of, there's like a veil between the two, like not really knowing what's going on with the other a little bit. And then I think if you're in a sort of a negative vibe right now, your mind can tend to wander, you know. But I feel like spirit, sometimes I feel a channel coming through and I self-correct, and I need to stop doing that, because I need to just be true to what I'm getting and not worry about like my personal side of it. But I just feel like very much at this time, spirit wants everyone to trust. Oh, look, Divine Masculine. So I get a little self-conscious if there's any Divine Masculines out there watching. One in particular. But, oh, and look, Vesica, whatever. I love this though. It's the 2 rings. It's like I was saying too, this reminds me of the Sacred Twins, the Twin Flame Angels, the Miriam, but Sacred Vision. But it's like temperance too. It's these 2 rings, these 2 cups coming together. But there's divine masculine on the bottom of the deck. So let's see what's coming up in the, oh yeah, but I was going to say that I feel like Spirit very much wants us to trust in, always trust in what you feel, but trust in your connection and your purpose, you know, related to it at this time, even if it is challenging. Maybe I will start with the Oracle. So let's see, what does this have to say? Wellness. So divine masculines are working on wellness. I also just get alignment. So their alignment, like chakras, energetic, like there's a major sacred geometry vibe here. So I just think divine masculines are working on wellness, and in that like alignment, maybe meditation, just some level of, I think like there's an inner peace. There's a new like inner peace with masculines, and it's within. It's come from within. It's coming from within. It's like they're doing it to themselves. Maybe it's almost this temperance, like they're understanding the control that they have over their energy through their thoughts and like intentions and such. But there's an energy of wellness and then bringing things into alignment. And in that sense, probably raising their vibration, coming more into alignment with their upper chakras, their heart chakra in particular. What else? Financial constraints. So if there's any like just like worry, masculines might in their headspace be dealing with financial constraints or things with their jobs, or just worried about things in the physical world, maybe things changing and just feeling like overwhelmed in one way or another about how that might shake out. Or always it comes up with masculines too in terms of finances and purpose are very related sometimes to their self-worth, to their confidence. So however that resonates with you or whoever you're watching this for, it's like it's on their mind. Finances, work, it's on their mind. And if it's bringing about any feelings of frustration, I think what they're learning to do is to sort of go within. That, like I was saying, it's like masculines are feeling a new inner peace, and they're sort of realizing that can have an effect on everything. It can dictate everything in their life, including things like finances and work. That's part of their manifestation. It's not just like, oh, this is my spiritual side and I like feel this, and but then I have to do work and I have to think of it in this way. It's like blending, like realizing that they can blend them, and realizing that like a spiritual approach of inner peace, wellness, and meditation as applied to career, purpose, creating abundance, finances is actually a really beautiful blend, and is going to really contribute to their success later in life, you know, or throughout their life or now. But it's them like they're healing themselves. It feels like an inner healing. And I would really like to give masculines credit, because like as I'm getting a little bit better at channeling, I know I'm very transparent about my thoughts and stuff and how I'm experiencing things, because I'm new to it too. But it's like I'm really feeling them. I want to give them credit, because as I'm kind of channeling this, I'm really feeling them doing this, because they feel almost like winded, like I want to take breaths, you know, and they're doing it. They're just becoming very much aware of their rhythm, of their thoughts, of their intentions, and how this can play out in their physical world. So I just want to give masculines credit for that, because that's nice. It feels like a learning to like have this inner peace and let it unfold and spiral into their life. Yeah, interesting. The Seven of Pentacles. This is Seven of Gems, and in this deck it reads frustration. It's like this is what they're learning to deal with, this frustration. It's forced them to do it. That's what it does, you know. It forces all of us to. We have to go within, and especially now, I feel like in the age that we are living in. And I really want to do a video, and I don't know if I'll have time to do it today, but I made notes. I've been saying it about light activations, light healing, spirit guides, things like that, because I really feel like at this time, people are going to be called on to more than ever to use spiritual practices, and that if they choose to, it will help them a lot. Like that it will potentially be of great benefit through this time to do energy work, light healing work. And I think sometimes people are intimidated by that, because they think like, oh, you don't have to do anything. It's just like envisioning light is what I want to encourage people to do. But anyway, when you experience frustration, when you experience struggles in your life, it forces you to do that. And especially now, it is forcing people to tap into this mind over matter type of energy of wellness, healing your outer world by healing yourself from the inside out. So I think masculines have dealt with frustration. You know, I feel like it's hard for them. You know, I think divine feminines focus a lot on divine timing and feel like they're so much waiting a lot and that things don't come as quickly as they want. But masculine types, I feel like especially fiery ones, or more masculine type ones, can be very impatient, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating, but it's not happening for them to, they're not meant to abandon ship. They're not meant to quit. They're not meant to get so mad that they just like give up. They're meant to figure it out. They're meant to heal. Keep like flipping off, I feel like. My son's been flipping me off a lot. They're meant to heal. They heal this frustration by finding this inner wellness and peace. So I feel like they're healing that. They've been waiting for things, not just related to this connection, but they're ready for things to like start to move more in their life in a way, you know, to make things more manifest in their life. Okay, let's switch to feminines. And that's all in their headspace, by the way. So that's a lot of where their thoughts are related. But it feels like their thoughts, they're trying to change their thoughts. They're trying to transform the way they think about things. So this is for divine feminines in their headspace. Divine feminines are gaining a lot of insight. I feel like feminines always are. Again, there's an energy of meditation here. So one thing I will say is I feel like feminines, you can gain a lot of insight, obviously through meditation. But obviously, I personally, this is sort of a personal thing, but meditating and communicating either with your counterpart or other spirit beings, other spirit entities. Like, yes, meditating for yourself, but then also meditating with the intent to communicate with something other than yourself. I don't know where that's coming from, but gaining insight, and you gain insight. So feminines are gaining insight. They're also just being, I feel like feminines are pretty tapped in. You're being shown things, you're seeing things, even if you're not looking or trying. It's just kind of, it's happening for you. Interesting. So also, wow, here's a contract. Feminines are gaining insight about this soul contract with this sacred union connection. Absolutely. I feel like there were some downloads or insights that have come about since the full moon in Libra, because Libra is about partnership. So there is a soul contract here. Obviously, there's a spiritual contract made before coming into this life about this connection, as there are soul contracts made about every connection we have. And feminines are gaining insight about that. What I think too is like gaining insight. It's a new insight. It's a new way of perceiving it. Like we are always leveling up. We are always understanding some new angle of it. It's a natural effect of the progression of time. It's meant to expand. It's just going to keep expanding, and we're going to keep leveling up and understanding new aspects of it from a spiritual perspective. So soul contracts, you know, what goes into a soul contract as written or recorded in the Akashic records, it's not the things that our ego thinks about, you know? It's not written in the soul contract that he's going to message you or call you on June 4th at 12:02. You know, it's like there may be some level of that in the sacred geometry, like light, who knows? I'm sure there's levels of that. Don't get me wrong, because everything is down to the perfect moment in time. And actually the sacred geometry of time, of when things do actually happen, it's connected. But it's more about the soul contracts, though, in a way, are more about energetic bonds. And like, you know, it may not be that this has to happen to fulfill the contract. It may just be a sharing of energy in order to fulfill the contract. And it's like, it may just be teaching each other things, you know, if there's not like to be necessarily a physical union, perhaps, or at least at this time, there's ways that the contract can work where you are gaining from each other, even if you're not together. It's energetic. So I guess also advice is to ladies, meditate and focus on that. Think about that. What is this soul contract about? Tap into yourself. And that's what I was saying too, is that for you to communicate, when you try to meditate or try to gain insight, try to communicate with something. That might just be trying to tap in like to the Akashic records, but try to meditate with the intention of getting information, of gaining insight into something, like getting information from some source, whatever comes to you, however that resonates. Justice. Number 11, truth. You can't fucking make it up. That is a contract. That is justice. Holy shit. You are gaining insight about this partnership. Again, I mentioned the full moon in Libra. Justice is connected to Libra. It's the scales. There's truth coming out about this contract for you, and there's truth wanting to be revealed to you about the true nature of it. Ways that you might start to find that you can feel at peace with this connection if it's not coming together in the physical way that you are like wanting it to, or that you have previously thought you wanted it to. Ways that you can gain insight of, or ways that you can find peace with the connection and the way this contract is set up or playing out. You're being given insight about that in some way. So stay open. And like I said, even go within and ask for information, but the scales are balancing out. There's justice here. So this contract, also what this feels like is that this contract is going to be fulfilled, whatever that means. Now, does not mean necessarily that you're going to, you know, it's your story. I'm not here to tell anyone what they are or not going to do, but I'm just saying sometimes, of course, we always are focused on the certain outcome of like a committed monogamous relationship, a white picket fence, a wedding. It may not always be that. It may be that for some people too. It's for you to, it's your story. You are the creator of your reality. But also, in order sometimes for those things to actually unfold for you, you may have to release your attachment to them in order for them to actually, you have to just be okay, I feel like, to an extent, with the energy, with like the contract as it is. Not, or like wanting to, or asking to be okay with understanding the contract from a spiritual perspective, not necessarily based on what your ego may want to get from it or what your ego would like to see unfold. It's getting in touch with a higher perspective, I guess, is the best way of saying it, which is the truth. What is the real truth behind it? And also with that, because I've been very like kind of upper in talking about this, there's truth coming in for you, divine feminines. There's truth, and that is your justice. You're going to get your truth because you deserve it. The truth shall be revealed. The truth shall set you free, ladies. And I like that because this justice angel, she's not wearing blindfolds, which most of them are. Like this one, she's wearing a blindfold. She is not. You are going to gain insight. You are gaining insight. The truth shall set you free. I just like that. Almost every justice card has her eyes covered. Her eyes are not covered here. There's truth being revealed. Okay, let's hurry up and see what's coming out for the divine masculine. Heart space. Heart space. 6 of trees, more balance, the giving and receiving there. Oh, I still haven't hit my pen. I just get to talking and I forget. Oh, orphaned. There's abandonment. There's abandonment issues going on right now for sure. Major 5 of Pentacles. We're healing it. We're healing that heartbreak. You are not left out in the cold. You are never left out in the cold. You are loved. You are loved. Imagine the possibilities at this time while you are bored as fuck. Are you bored as fuck? Imagine the possibilities. Don't get too stuck in this old stuff. It's good to heal it, but imagine what is happening for you. Imagine what can come about for you in this next phase, this next cycle of the year of your life coming up. There's a lot of possibilities. What I feel. Relationship. Okay. Divine masculine headspace or heart space. What's going on with you, mister? Of course, the tantric union. The tantric union is coming out in the divine masculine's heart space. I like that though, because it's meaning that he's energetic, that he's connecting to these thoughts or feelings through his heart, through his feelings more than it coming in his headspace. If I get the tantric union in his headspace, it's more like, oh, he's thinking about that, he's envisioning that. Not that that's a bad thing either, but to get it in his heart space, it's like he really wants this, he really wants this union. There's a longing for it. There's a longing for the physical part of the connection, for it to come together. And it's just, the reason is because it's a beautiful thing, or it will be a beautiful thing. Like, look at their light vibrating. Their auras are vibrating and they're of the same color, So it's really beautiful. I like seeing that in the divine masculine heart space. To the sea, yeah, interesting. It's a beautiful card. It's very like Six of Swords. I just think he wants to move toward this, you know? He may be sort of feeling too like a part of him is like moving away from it, but it's like he wants to move toward it, you know? I just think that in his heart, he wants to move toward that, toward what he wants. This girl's a little melancholy, you know, in a way. And there's something kind of melancholy about this card. It's number 7, like the Chariot, because sometimes, you know, and 7-7, sometimes, you know, in order to move toward things we want, we have to move away from other things that are important to us. So it's always like a balance. It's always a give and take. So I think this is something that is in his heart space that he can't really get past. So he like has to move toward it. But, you know, it's a decision. He's making a decision to do it, and he may not be like 100% sure, but it's like to the sea, you know? It's like, let's go on this journey. You know, I have to go on this journey. My compass is pointing me in that way. So that's where I must go. The Queen of Stars. My compass is pointing me in that way, and that is where I must go. Because see, I noticed that arrow like pointing him where he's going. And then we have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire, the Illuminator. That is where he must go. That's where he's going. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. That's really beautiful though. I'm sorry, I'm a little taken back. That's really beautiful though. So this Queen of Wands is in his heart space. She is in his heart space. There's this energetic connection there. There's this pull. His compass leads him here. And his compass, which is, I like this, he's being more in tune with the compass that is in his heart, that is, you know, part of his passion. He's being drawn to this union, this tantric union, potentially with his Queen of Stars. How beautiful, you guys. That's really beautiful. Okay, where's the feminine? That's positive energy. I mean, that's some union energy. It's kind of been coming up. Blessings for the divine feminine. I'm like, yeah, this is a blessing right here. Blessings in her heart space. She feels that. I also think feminines are, as they're understanding this new contract, is I have been feeling this myself. So I hope you guys do too. As she's been feeling this, the energy and understanding of the new contract, it's like, this is a blessing. This is a blessing. Even if we don't even get to have this, you know, this whole thing is a blessing. It teaches you so much. It teaches you so much, and it's just like such a lush, rich experience, it feels like, for feminine. So it's a blessing in her heart, always. A change in the wind. There is a change coming. A change in the wind. Number 12. Wow. Very interesting. Change. There's a change coming. And it's a blessing. You know, this card, if you read the description in the book, it's a little bit scary, or it's like kind of a tower. It's a tower moment. So it can be a real shakeup. But coming out with this card, that's a blessing. And she senses it coming in her heart. She senses a change coming in her heart. She senses it. Here's another queen. Queen of Angels, visionary. She sees it. Like, she knows it's coming. She knows it's coming. I can't believe we have 2 queens out. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Because she's in her visionary mode. It's like the masculine is seeing her in her illuminator, her Queen of Wands, that like passionate, sexy energy. But for her, she's in this Queen of Angels, this Queen of Swords energy, this visionary. You know, she's very, very in touch with her vision. And this is in her heart space too, but it's like her vision is very much a part of her heart space. So her mind and heart, I feel like, are balanced. Her vision it's mental, she's creating it. It's part of her intellectual side too, but it's from her heart. So it's a balance coming. So she sees it. There's a blessing, a change in the wind. Wow, like it's very like powerful energy. Okay, so let's finish, shall we? And hopefully this won't be too long after all. And I got through every deck I wanted to use. I like it. I hope this resonates. This feels quite positive, I have to say. And also, on that note, with over here with the masculine energy, so like this stuff, this wellness stuff, him dealing with this frustration and like sort of this mind over matter energy, dealing with his physical world, I think as he's done that, that's part of his wellness. I said initially that card made me feel like he's coming into alignment, and that may be why in his heart space he's feeling more in touch with this. He's coming into alignment, allowing this in his heart space more and allowing himself to be guided in that direction. And then, yeah, I think for the feminines, as you gain that insight more, it's just going to fine tune your vision of this blessing. and prepare you for the change that's coming. So what's coming up in the future energy, and then we'll call this a reading. Protection. This is divinely protected, this union, these connections, and you are as individuals. Remember that. If I can do my spirit guide light worker or light activation little video I wanted to do. We are all protected, so we can always protect ourselves with the white light. You can call on it at any time. Nice. Crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. That's beautiful. Bridging. We are bridging. It's always such cleanup around here after I do, oh, the King of Cups on the bottom. After I do a reading, I have so much cleanup to do, I swear. Yeah, I'm over this energy though, you guys. I cannot wait for things to move forward so we can be to the sea again. But I accept it. I'm trying not to complain or fight it, but it's been hard. So be kind to yourself. And like I said, treat yourself. Spirit. Spirit wants you to treat yourself. It's not me. It's spirit. Treat yourself. I feel like I should pull two. Okay. Temperance. Again. Shocker. Shocker. Repeating cards? Never. Healing chaos. I love this card. I don't know why I love this card so much. Just like this beautiful tornado with the butterflies. So this is coming up in the future energy, and it's actually giving me a really good feeling. I don't know why, because chaos isn't great, but it's like this is healing. We are healing chaos here, and there's an energy of transformation. So it's like after this storm, after what everyone is going through right now, there's going to be a positive energy of transformation and lightness. So healing chaos, that's coming up in the future. Yeah, nice. Wish fulfillment. Happiness. See, I really got a good feeling for some reason when I saw this. So this is wish fulfillment. This is happiness coming up in the future. And then what it says too is like any healing that you've wished for or wanted to happen, any chaos you've wanted to clear up, it's going to. There's going to be like emotional clarity, emotional release, emotional clarity. I think too, like I said, because masculines are coming into alignment with a new part of themselves, and it's not like it's on them or on anyone, but because of them perhaps coming into a new sense of alignment, it's allowing things to unfold more, and it's going to heal this chaos. There's going to be happiness on both sides. Okay. Journey by moonlight. Believe in magic. That's a beautiful parting message. Believe in magic. Continue to believe in magic. This energy, these connections are very magical. They are. And this world is magical. So continue to believe in magic even when it's challenging. Oh my God. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. Love to end this reading. Wow. I love it. I'm done. I'm done, Spirit. I'm done. It's just funny because as I was saying, these connections are really magical. They bring out a magic, you know, and I sort of self-corrected and I wanted to say, well, all of life is magical. You know, it's all magical. The spirit realm is magical, which is true. It is magical. But then I pulled the Two of Cups, and it's sort of spirit's way of being like, no, it's okay. Like, you can say that these connections are magical. They are magical. They bring a joy into your life, and it's not just, doesn't have to be any specific type of connection. It's just love connections. This Two of Cups, this deep emotional bond, it is, it can bring a lot of magic when you open your heart to another person and you connect in a way that you don't connect with other people. And the other reason there's magic and there's a really magical element to it is because these connections have carried on throughout lifetimes. There's just such a heavy, beautiful energy surrounding the connection that it brings about a real richness and depth and magic. So we are ending our reading with the Two of Cups here. And I like this too because they're like kind of in that tantric position too. So that's really beautiful. It's just such a beautiful card. So that is the end of this reading, you guys. That is really beautiful energy. This was supposed to be for the week ahead, but maybe this energy feels very like beautiful and profound. So some of this might take a little while to unfold. Maybe, like I said, we might see the starts of it when things start to lift. Who knows? Time's an illusion. Could happen today. Could happen tomorrow. But coming up in the future, we're healing chaos, and there's going to be a wish fulfillment. And you are asked to believe in magic because this union is coming together. Whether you see it yet or not, it is. It is. Believe in magic, you guys. I guess that is all for now. Peace out. Have a great week.